Can we do some word association?
Okay.
So the way this works is I say a word and you say whatever comes to mind.
Oh boy.
Yep. U.S. economy,
Strong.
biotech.
Exciting.
By the way, you can do full sentences too. Only if you want to.
As you know, I'm somewhat abrupt.
I do. Retail investors,
Formidable.
yield curve.
Overrated.
Really?
Yep.
So we're in with the equity as a macro indicator, out with the yield curve.
Oh no, it's a pretty good indicator. I've never traded the yield curve much. I talk to my peers. I got the curve on. I'm like, look, rates are going to go up or they're going to go down. When I say overrated, I misunderstood the word. No, I didn't misunderstand. It's what came to my head. I'm talking about trading the yield curve as opposed to just trading bonds
Rates.
outright. Very rarely do you win on both sides. In other words, very rarely do short rates go down and long rates go up, which is what happened last year. But I had the down part correctly.
Humanoids.
It's interesting because I asked my young partner, why should humanoids be like humans? Why would that possibly be the most efficient form of a robot? And I expected him to say it's not. And he said, well, for example, Stan, your kitchen is designed for a human to work in. So if you want a humanoid to work for you and do your tasks in the kitchen, it should be a humanoid. He said, in an Amazon factory, it doesn't have to be a humanoid. By the way, I just learned this yesterday. I've been sitting here, I don't know why I hadn't asked him before, thinking about humanoids and how ridiculous this is, making robots humans when there must be a better way to make a functioning robot.
Gold.
Gold. Fascinating.
Tariffs.
Not a fan. I'm fine with them up to like 10% because we overconsume in this country, and if you can have a consumption tax that the foreigners bear part of the burden, I don't have a problem with them. If you get into some of the kind of ranges we've got into, I can't stand them. But, you know, I'm a Ronald Reagan old school economist. But to a point, I think they're fine.
Crypto.
I said this a long time ago, and I'm going to say it again. It's a solution looking for a problem. I'm very sad that it ever happened as a store of value because it wasn't needed. But it's a brand, and these people love it, so it's going to be a store of value. On the other hand, blockchain and the use of stable coins, if you want to throw crypto into that, tokens, incredibly useful in terms of productivity. I assume our whole payment systems will be stable coins at 10 or 15 years. Efficient, quicker, cheaper.
China or China-US relations.
Kevin Warsh said something brilliant about 8 years ago when Trump took on China. He said, this is probably the best China and U.S. relations will ever be. They're probably only going to get worse from here. And it sounded like the craziest statement I had ever heard. And I converted shortly thereafter, and I think that's still the trend, that our relations are in a bear market.
Euro. And the euro.
Euro broke my heart because I lived off the Deutschmark for 10 years. And when they got rid of the Deutschmark, my gravy train was over. And I never made returns like I made in the 90s again. Look, I don't know, that place. As an American who likes innovation and who likes action as opposed to being a cultural idiot, which is what I am, I'm not big on the euro. By the way, there's companies in Europe we've invested in and we think they're great. So it's not a overriding comment.
Curing cancer.
Going to happen soon.
What's your market in years?
I think in 10 years, 95% of cancers will be just a manageable disease.
Incredible. Morgan Stanley.
Quality and trust. That's where I go with that firm.
Sounds like a good firm.
It has some problems with it, but
Some people.
just maybe one or two. The other thousands are great.
Dollar as a reserve currency.
It's the cleanest, dirtiest shirt, or whatever that saying is. I think it'll be around for a while. We're doing everything we can to destroy it, but I'm 72. It'll probably outlive me. I doubt it'll be the reserve currency in 50 years, but I don't have a clue what would be. Maybe some crypto thing I hate.
Fed and Treasury working together. Can it happen? How?
That's what I'm most excited about with Besson and Warsh. I think it can happen. I think it's necessary. I can't think of two people better placed in terms of skill sets and personalities to make it happen. So count me optimistic on that one.
Hard Lessons is an original series from Morgan Stanley. For the full episode with Stan Druckenmiller and an extended audio version, visit morganstanley.com/hardlessons.